Hey guys, I'm Jody.
And I'm Justin.
And it is time to go over the games we played in the prior month, which was February. So we got a decent amount of games played, a few games of chess, so we'll update you on who is the winner, which hopefully it's me. Yeah, so we have a lot of fun games to talk about, and they're all down here, and we're about to get it rolling.
Let's do this.
Here we go. Alright, let's start off with Kitty Cat Game, Calico, published by AEG and Flat Out Games, and got to play in this. I think I got to play in with this game.
I didn't get to play. I was bummed.
But we can play it after this video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you guys have followed us, you guys probably heard this game, heard us talk about this game. So cute. Very pretty board when you're done placing out all your tiles, and you're putting different patterns and colors around different goal tiles. And if you get certain colors together, you can get these button tokens, and if you fulfill certain patterns and combinations, you can get cat tokens. And yeah, the finished product of the board is really pretty. It's a pretty little quilt that you got done.
Lots of color, lots of patterns, things like that. Really, really cool to look at when you're finished, and makes for some pretty decent photos, too.
Yep. All right, so that's Calico.
Calico. And the next game on the list here that we have played in the month of February is going to be a little party game called Crossed Words. And this was this was thinky for a party game. It was challenging.
Definitely. I consider it a more brain-burning categories type of game.
Yes, yeah, because you've got this little plastic 3x3 grid that you've got cards on each of the 3 sides here, and then 3 sides on top as well. And you have to find a word that matches the intersections of those different words. And so it's challenging to do that because you have to match 100% one of the words, but at least partially match the other word. So trying to figure out, especially when you've got these weird combinations of words that just like, it doesn't seem like there's any relation, trying to come up with a word that you can make in common.
You mean hard. Categories, like weird categories.
Weird categories that then trying to find a word that matches both of those categories is very, very difficult.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. I actually really I want to play this again.
It was fun. Yeah,
I really enjoyed this one. I've always liked categories, and this definitely feels, like I said, a little more brain burning. But I really liked it, and I'm down for playing it again.
Well, I've never loved categories, but this just gave it a little bit of a different kind of a dimension for me that made it more fun. So I actually really liked it.
Yep, that is Crossed Words by Indie Boards and Cards. All right, next on the list is a fun one in my opinion, and I really like it. And the Kickstarter just went live today, I believe, with some more expansions and content, and yeah, I'm excited about it. Mm-hmm. So we played Everdell, and we played it with some of the expansions. Well, we have Pearlbrook, but we didn't play Pearlbrook this time. We played. All right, so we played Everdell, and we played the Spirecrest expansion, and we picked out a couple aspects of Belfair, mainly the player powers, and were the Cardinals. I can't remember which one the Cardinals were in. The Cardinal critters. All I know is I really liked the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. I played. Oh, okay. So I think it's in this one. I played with the Cardinals, and oh my gosh, they're so cute. And I liked the player power too of the Cardinal that I was using. Yeah, so we had a fun time. I mean, it was a sprawling event. Like the whole table was filled up, and we had our Game Toppers mat, which is really pretty.
The Ryan Lockett version. If you haven't seen it.
Go ahead and pop up a picture here. We'll try to remember to pop up a picture for you guys. But I mean, it's a Ryan Lockett mat, and it's by Game Toppers. You guys need to check it out. I think they're going to be having a Kickstarter soon as well, with another amazing mat that they're coming out with by Vincent Dutrait. Yeah. So
anyway, back to Everdell.
Yeah. Sorry, I got sidetracked with the game mats. So we had a blast playing playing these games, and it's just always a fun experience. I mean, the art and the components, and I love worker placement and Spirecrest. You get the big critters. They're just so cute. Yes, so we had fun playing these.
All right, next game that is on our list for the month of February is Magic Money. And this is a little bidding game that was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't our favorite. I mean, we don't really... Bidding games isn't really our thing, it seems, anyway. But, I mean, yeah, it was okay. And this one, you know, it's one of those games where you can bid whatever amount you want, but if you're caught having bid the most at the end of the game, then you're kicked out of the game. And you have a private and public ledger. So the public ledger, everybody can see what you bid on for you're bidding for some of these cards that have ways to get points at the end of the game. But then you have your private ledger where only you can see. It was okay. Probably we might let this one leave our collection. Yeah. We'll see. But if you're into bidding games, you might want to check it out. It's published by Indie Boards and Cards. But probably just not one for us.
Yeah, so that's it. Magic Money. And up next, we are going to be talking about Egizia Shifting Sands. And this is a fun game. I kind of tend to enjoy this game. It is, you're taking boats and you're placing them along the Nile River. And as you're placing them out, you can only place them beyond where you've already been. You can never backtrack, okay? So you can, if you place one here, then you cannot go behind that on the Nile River. You can only go further beyond that for your next boat. So as you're doing this and placing things out, you're kind of playing around trying to figure out what the other person's going to do. Are they going to take that spot that's, 3 or 4 spaces ahead of you? Should you go that far, or should you stay and maybe hope that that'll still be there on the next turn? So you're kind of playing that game a little bit. And then, what you're doing as you go along, you're gaining things to then be able to buy research, not buy research, but be able to perform different actions, right? So there's a pyramid, there's an obelisk that's being built, there's a pyramid that's being built, there's statues that are being built, and things like that. And those are kind of those actions and tasks that you're performing along the way. And you're just trying to end up with the most points at the end. So it's a fun little game, and it's a pretty board in my opinion. So and this is another one of those games where you have to I know some people don't like the concept of having to feed your people, that you're having to kind of make sure you can feed your crew, but I kind of like this version because you have to make sure you have the right what are the cards called? Field cards? I don't know. You got green, yellow, and red. And depending on where the irrigation ring is, that's what cards will be allowed to use to feed your crew. Mm-hmm. So you have to make sure you have, different color field cards to cover your feeding. And yeah, and produce stone. Yeah, it's a good game for sure. We enjoy this one. Yeah. So that's another one. Egizia Shifting Sands.
Alright, so I am going to show you guys Oceans, the deluxe edition with pretty acrylic fish. I got a play of this one in. He missed out on this one, although it's not his favorite game. So, I had a great play. I had one species that was doing really well. I had one deep card that was I just kind of created a little machine in one of my little species, and I was getting a lot of acrylic fish. So if you're familiar with Evolution, this is kind of a similar game, but this is a standalone game for sure. But I'm obviously with an ocean theme. So for half the game, you're playing with surface cards, which are more of this type of artwork. And then about halfway through, you can start using the deep cards, which is a little more of the darker artwork. But I love it. It's pretty. And this is definitely an interactive engine building game where if you don't like interactive games, not for you. Because you're going to be stealing fish from people, or feeding fish from, not feeding fish, just getting fish from other people, and interacting with each other. It's a fun one. I really enjoyed it, and really enjoyed my play. I'm still working on him with this one, but one day maybe.
I wouldn't count on it.
Alright, so that's Oceans. Now we're going to talk about Divvy Dice by Stronghold Games, a roll and write game. So this one was okay. It was kind of like another middle of the pack game. Not horrible, but also not amazing. I don't know. I don't know if we'll play it. I want to maybe try it with my parents. My parents like roll and writes, and I might see if they like this one. But I'm not sure it's like our favorite.
Yeah.
But in this one, so the name is suggesting that you might be divvying up some of the dice. So the active player rolls, and they can choose to keep what they roll, in which case none of the other players can use the dice. But if they decide to re-roll, then you might be divvying up the dice with the other players. And you're going to be getting this 3x3 grid of little cards that are goal and scoring cards, which are fun because you can little check marks whenever you complete a card.
They're little dry erase surfaces with dry erase markers you can write on and stuff. So.
And you're just having to fill in the cards with what you roll and stuff. So, yeah, it's okay.
Cute little game, but not something that we'll probably be playing a whole lot.
Yeah, we'll see. And that is Divvy Dice.
So, next on the list, we are going to be talking about Carpe Diem. And Carpe Diem got a little bit of a makeover in this box here, and so, nice, clean, white-ish cover. But, yeah, tell them a little bit about it.
Yeah, so this one is tile laying. There's two main phases. You got the building phase, the form phase. Building phase, everyone's going to be grabbing some tiles, and every player has their own little board where they're placing out tiles. You're going to be trying to complete dwellings and different landscapes, because when you do those things, you're going to be getting bonuses, resources, just different types of things, prestige points. And the form phase is where you're going to be scoring. You're placing out a marker that's connected to two objective cards and that you're trying to fulfill. Like, for instance, one card might say, you need to turn in 3 of these types of resources. I feel like you kind of like this game, right? Because it's a little puzzly. You kind of like your own puzzle. Yeah,
I think at first I was like, how do I even approach this? But then as we got into the game, I started to figure it out, and it was a little bit puzzly, and it was kind of my kind of a feel. So now, I definitely liked the idea of it and how it ended up playing out. So yeah, I'd say I'm a fan of this one.
All right, so that is Carpe Diem. All right, so I'm really excited about this one. This one is a heavier game that I like, and Justin doesn't like heavier games. But it happened to be my birthday last February 5th, so I used that as an excuse to get him to play this game with me.
She roped me in.
So, the game is Maracaibo. So, I got him to play this one with me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, this game got your board out, and you're sailing your ship in different locations. You're going to be doing city actions or village actions. You can get quest tiles. There's also the combat, which you can do. There's 3 main countries that are doing combat. And there's also the Explore Zone on the bottom of the board. And then, of course, there's a lot of cards that you're playing cards and just a lot of fun stuff. I really enjoy everyone has their own ship board. And you can do a lot of ship upgrades, which give you a lot of different other things to do. There's a lot of different things you can do and a lot of different ways to score points. I love those types of games. You don't, but I got you to play it with me.
Yeah, and when I play those types of games, there's just too many things going on, so I pick 1 or 2 things to kind of stick with and do, so that's kind of what happened here. And generally I end up losing, and that's what happened this time, but it was
a decently close game though, I think. You did really good for your first time playing this game.
That's right, because you had played it also with somebody else before that.
Yeah, you did really good.
Yeah, so that made me feel a little better. Yeah.
So now I just got to work on him to... I really want to do the campaign. Well, I'm going to work really hard to get him to play it again with me because I like this game. That is Maracaibo.
Alright guys, moving on to Cubitos. And we played this one a lot in February. we got this one in and we immediately put it on the table, and it didn't leave for a while.
We really like this game. It's fun. A lot of fun.
We really did play this quite a bit.
Bypass the cover. The cover is just terrible.
The cover is pretty ugly.
But the game is actually, we have a lot of fun playing the game.
Yeah. So basically it's a race, essentially. That's what it is. First one to get around something or to something. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to acquire dice, and you're drafting dice, and you're trying to then roll those dice, use those dice, and you're trying not to bust. You have to roll the dice. If you have 3, you can move up to 3 into your action area. If you get to 3, then any further rolling that you do, you're taking a chance of losing all of it. So, but anyway, so then you're going to use those dice to do other actions or make moves or things like that. And essentially what you're trying to do is finish the race first. Yeah. But it was one of those things where it was just really fun. We played with a couple of our friends who ended up buying it like while we were playing it. Like the first game, while we were playing the first game, they're like, okay, check, pre-order, done, go get the game. So
yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. They have different races you can do, like race suggestions, and it's kind of that deck building component, but with dice, because you can, you're building up your pool of dice, but you can also lose dice from the game so that you're rolling more of the ones that you actually want. It's just a lot of fun. Lots of different colored pretty dice and a lot of goodness in this box.
Lots of fun. So that's Cubitos.
So speaking of another type of deck building game, we've got Clank in Space. Yes, have fun with this one. I really like this one. You didn't get to play this one. I played with somebody else. But I just really enjoy this game. I mean, it's classic deck building. Drawing 5 cards, playing them, but you're moving through this board, and you have to go drop off some data cubes in a couple of regions before you can go to the command module and pick up an artifact, and you're trying to get out before Lord Erraticus, before his rage increases and all your cubes, because when his rage increases and he attacks, then you might get your cube pulled out of the bag, the Clank bag, and if your cube is drawn, you put it on your health meter, and once your health meter is filled up, then you're out of the game.
Erraticus.
And this is just a really fun game. Of course, I like space settings, so that makes it even more fun for me. But yeah, fun game. Clank in Space.
All right, so it's time for our monthly chess tally. So let's see how we did this month, and I think I already know the answer. I'm pretty sure she beat me more often than not.
We only got 4 plays in this month, and I have the tallies here. So the first game we played this month, you actually won, but
was it a speed run?
But I made a special note here.
Yeah.
I said Justin won. I was tired and didn't try.
Oh my goodness.
So that was the preface for that one. So I'll give it to him.
Oh my goodness.
And then the second time we played, Justin won that one too. But I made another special note for this one. Justin won because I was super stressed about speed chess and I couldn't think about playing. I was thinking about how stressed out I was. So that's 2.
I think I remember I had to stop the timer too a couple of times during that game.
Whatever.
I
wasn't even thinking about playing. I was thinking about how stressed out I was and like going crazy. Anyway. And then I won the other 2. So basically, if she's under any kind of stress at all, I win. If she's in a normal frame of mind, I lose. That's kind of how things work, right? So, but anyway, we have fun with it. So that's what we played. That was our tallies for chess in February. So these last 2 games we're going to be talking about, I'm like super, super excited to talk about. They're both newer games, and they're both ones I really enjoy playing and I really like. So, and they're both deck building and worker placement games, which I really like those too. You like those mechanisms as well, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the first one. Dune Imperium. So, we played this for the first time in February, and I really enjoyed myself. It took us a little while to kind of figure out the gameplay and everything, but once we did, I really enjoyed it. It's really fun. I like the conflict aspect where you're putting your troops out, but you're not 100% sure if your player has your opponent has an intrigue card that has some more combat, and so you're like, but it's important because a lot of those cards you're fighting over might have victory points on it, and it's pretty much kind of like a race to get 10 points. But I mean, it's some deck building going on, and you're placing out your workers. You've got different factions where you're trying to move up on the faction tracks, and that will get you points as well. I really have fun with this game.
And you played a couple of solo rounds with it too, right?
Well, that was March.
A couple solo games. Oh, that was in March. Shh. I lied. little something to come for next month.
Nope. So, what were your thoughts about this game?
I thought it was okay, but I think if I played it another time, because I only got to play it once. Yeah. And so if I played it another time, I have a little bit of a better idea of what I'm doing with it now, and some of the things that I did in the first game I might change up and do a little bit.
Yeah, okay, so the first game, we both made a huge mistake, and we got creamed by our other friend. Yeah. Because we both didn't really collect cards that had the faction icons, right. So we weren't able to go there as frequently, so yeah, we totally messed up. Yeah. So the second time I played the game, in March, I learned from that mistake, and it was definitely a much better game. I think you will have much better experience.
So yeah, hopefully we'll play this again, and I'll enjoy it a little bit more.
We will be playing this again because this is a really good game. Really enjoy it. Yeah. Dune Imperium. So the last one on the list, like I mentioned, I really like this one. Deck building, worker placement, gorgeous production. So, Lost Ruins of Arnak.
This one was fun.
Yes. It is just such a beautiful game. Great. You had fun taking some pictures of it. I mean, it's gorgeous. Oh, and we played it on the Ryan Lockett mat, and that made it better as well. Yeah.
So that definitely kind of amped up the experience, because if we had just played it on this blue mat, I don't think it would have been, the environment would not have been the way we wanted.
It would have still been a great game, but the experience was just heightened with that foresty Ryan Lockett mat.
It was good.
Yeah, so this game, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous, and I love the theme. It feels like you're exploring, you're trying to research and move up to the Lost Temple. You can find new sites, and whenever you do, Guardian tiles come out, and the artwork on those are just amazing. Yeah, there's a lot, and then of course you got your cards where you're a little bit of deck building going on. You're gonna be playing cards and
your components.
Yes, the components.
The little tiles and the arrowheads and the rubies. Just the sensation you get when you get to play with these little pieces that are very
I can't find them.
That are very well designed, and it's just it definitely added to the experience.
Just everything about this game. And the gameplay, production. Yeah. You guys need to check this one out if you haven't, because this is a great game.
Lost Ruins of Arnak. Alright guys, so those are all of the games that we played in February of 2021. So let us know if you like some of these games. Leave us a comment down below. Which game of those was your favorite, and which game have you not played that you really, really want to play? Okay, so leave us a comment down below.
Yeah, and as always, if you guys want to help us out and you like our content, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching.
See y'all.